Hello everyone, welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology Podcast, the most easy way to learn astrology. I'm Rod Chang.
I am Pablo Lopez.
So from this week and the next 12th week, we have a new theory. No, not new theory. We have new theme. We should say new theory. Yes, we have new theory and new theme for our 10 Minutes Astrology. Because for last couple months, we talk about personal planet, social planet, and ascendant, MC, IC, the axis, and also the 12th sign. Now we're going to put them together. Although we haven't talked about outer planet, but we can't wait because most of our audience really want to know about their chart and the planet in the chart. So the house is very, very important in the interpretation of the chart and the chart integration. So for next 12 weeks, we dedicate a whole series to the planet in the house. But before we start, it is very important as a experienced teacher. We know most of our students will confuse when they do the interpretation. They will mix up they say planet inside is like planet in house. When they explain planet in house, it's like they're talking about planet inside.
Yeah.
As long as you are comfortable with that, I have no problem with it. But as a professional astrologer and a teacher, we'd like to help you with a tiny technique, Alejo. Let's do it.
Okay, so I agree with Rod. I think it's okay if you want to do that. In a lot of school of astrologies, they do that, and I think it's okay if you want to mix, if you want to make equate house and sign. I think a lot of books actually do it, probably because they don't have room. They cannot print a book of 1,000 pages, so they do it. But if you're going to move into professional astrology, I think it's great if you can start differentiating. Signs are houses. So the signs will show us how the planet is going to be expressed. Basically, when you look at the planet by sign, the question is, how is this planet expressing him or herself? So if it's Mercury, how is this person thinking? If it's Mars, how is this person acting? Yes?
Yeah.
Now, when it's about the house does not describe the quality of the planet's expression. The house will not tell you how the planet is being expressed. What it's going to tell you is in which area of life, in which realm of life is going to be expressed. So is it going to be expressed when I'm at work? Is it going to be expressed when I'm with my lover in intimacy of my home or my room? Is it going to be expressed when I'm among friends? Is it going to be expressed when I'm with my family? Is it going to be expressed when I'm studying? Etc. and all of these things. So basically, each house will tell you in which realm of life is going to be expressed, in which place it's going to be expressed. Of course, place in a metaphorical way, because sometimes it's in the relationship with your brother, right? Or sister. So place in a metaphorical way. So, and I always take the same example. If we take the moon, okay, shall we do the moon? Shall we do the moon?
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
Okay. So what's the first house about? First, you remind us first.
Okay.
Because I'm already going to the example.
So the first house is the first house under the horizon, under the ascendant. Basically, we already know, believe it or not, you already know big part of first house because we already talk about ascendant. And then the meaning of ascendant and the first house, they are pretty similar. But there is a meaning about the sense of ourself. In the ancient time, the ancient astrologer talking about the ascendant and the first house as a appearance. So, like if you go to read the ancient book, like William Lilly's book, he will give you an idea about what planet in the first house where you have a scar, or what's your color of skin, or do you have a lot of hair or not. So you experience that in the first house. But in the modern term, maybe is how you introduce yourself to environment, and also that's in one way. Another way is how you see the world, how this word mean for you. But I think the most important is how you see yourself in the content of the first house, because it's me. Who am I? This is a very important thing when you think about the first house, especially when you have planet in the first house. Who am I? What does this planet bring me the character? So that is like any planet in your first house will become your signature, will become your kind of how you present yourself. In another word, when Alejo say the area of life, that means the things about me, how I understand myself, and how I identify myself. This is, I think, it could be very modern concept and a very psychological concept. But also, I think for the most of the people, this is very important. The house is like people will usually say, which one is me? Oh God, if you go to psychological area, everything, everything. There's a lot involved with you. So it's not just like I am this, I'm not that. But which is very interesting. First house help us understand ourselves. That's a very basic and very easy way to start with.
Yeah. So the example I was going to take is if we take the moon. So if we take the moon in the first house, the person will identify with the moon probably. Maybe at first, sometimes it's true that the first house, in the first years of life, you don't realize how much you're that. But then as life goes on, you are mirrored by everyone else and what everybody else is seeing of you. And we said the first house is how you start things when you go into a room. So the first thing people see of you is this moon. So the first people see of you is that you're sensitive, you're caring, you're nurturing, you want to take care of people, or you want to be taken care of, but probably you want to take care of people. So this is the idea of the moon in the first. Now, if we think about moon in Aries, moon in Aries is a need to compete, a need to be the first. It's like an instinctual behavior that activates when I'm feeling threatened, that goes into competition mode, goes into the assertive mode, right? So it's very, very different to the idea of the moon in the first house. The moon in the first house, I see this nurturing person, and the moon in Aries, I see this competitive person.
Unless, I mean, I try to make it more complicated. Unless you have the moon in Aries in first house, then you nurturing yourself or other people by compete with them.
Yes, I would say if you have the moon in Aries, in whichever house, that's how you nurture people. You nurture people by, pushing them, kind of, come on, do it. Come on, what are you waiting for? This is how this is how you show love. Helping them activate, right? And if it's in the first house, it's the first thing they're gonna see. But the stress I wanted to make is this idea that in abstract terms, like moon in the first could be very, very different to moon in Aries.
I agree with you. That's why sometimes, when we hear some people talk about a moon in Aries like a moon in first house, or moon in first house like a moon in Aries, are just like
it can be very different. Yes.
It is very, very different. So today our 10 minutes astrology is give you a very, very important lesson and a message to understand the different things. So should we give another example?
Okay, let's do Mercury.
Mercury. Okay. So
you do it. Mercury in the first.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I talk too much. I get the Mercury role and I talk
do you
too
have
much.
Mercury in first house then?
No, I have it, but I have it angular.
Angular. Okay, that's good. So Mercury in first house, as we say, that's how you identify yourself. There could be several layers of the Mercury. But at first, most people would think about, when we think about Mercury, we think about communication and the learning and the thinking. So the mind process. So that is the first impression when people who has the Mercury in first house, they want to let other people know I'm a thinker or I'm a communicator. I'm a messenger. So I bring the messenger to everywhere. And that is the Mercury in the first house. And then it will carry out the message, the quality he carry out, the way he carry out, the process he carry out with the Mercury's decline, and that is put it together to that is very professional astrologer's work. Or when you learn a little bit more about astrology, you are able to do that. But this is how he identifies itself. But also, we learn a little bit about the Mercury's archetype. Mercury archetype could be the young person or very sweet, moving person. So this could be another layer or another possibility. A person with Mercury in first house, how they present themselves.
Yeah, great. Yes. Excellent.
Yeah. So after this example, should we give an exercise?
Of course, always. We should always give exercise. We're very Saturnian in the end. We look Jupiterian, but we're very Saturnian. You have to work. I mean, if you want to learn astrology, you have to work.
Yeah, you do.
So I would say, let's do two very different planets. Let's do, for homework, Sun in the first. So the Sun, how will the Sun be expressed in the first? More than how, where is it going to be expressed?
Yeah.
What area of life is this person going to be expressed? How is it going to manifest in this person's life? And then let's do the Saturn in the first. So they're very different planets. Remember what Saturn is about? We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
And you can go back to I don't know what chapter it was, to the chapter of the Sun to hear about the Sun again.
Yeah.
So look at these keywords, and these are going to be very much embedded with a person's identity, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, so, but what people would maybe wonder, what if I don't have any planet in this house? Am I have no me?
Of course you have, but I think it's a bit advanced if to explain the rulerships.
Okay, yes, exactly. So don't worry about it. You still have your sense of identity, but through another technique. Okay, don't worry about it. But we will eventually, gradually, we will step by step, we will learn it. But don't worry too much, and don't think about if you don't have planet in a house, you don't have these things. No, that's you are learn it with another way. But at least is that, well, because people can see the planet in the house, is much easy to start with. And then if you don't have planet in the house, we will learn to use other technique to express the house. Okay? Well, so thank you for watch and listen 10 minutes of astrology. This week we learn planet in first house. So excited because we are start our 12 house journey. It's like, do you know the house and the hour, the idea of a house and hour are come from Egyptian mythology and Egyptian astrology, because they are mythology of a sun god traveling in the sky and go to the underworld duet. And then so in the underworld, he have to face the 12 tasks. So each house is a task for them, for the sun god, for Ra, and he calling all the gods together to fight with him. And so he is able to come out from east horizon next morning. And there is a 12 house. That's why the 12 house coming from.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so if you like our program, please like and subscribe. If you have any question and feedback, please write here or send message at AOA UK on Telegram or email us to aoa.inquiry@gmail.com. Please also join our Facebook group, 10 Minutes Astrology, and you can post your question, you can post your feedback. Also, we will announce some important information, like we say, end of this year, we will start have a whole series of Pluto in Aquarius talk, because why it's so important? Because it's going to have an impact for next 20 years. And that is super important. We invite at least 8 different astrologers to talk about this topic. Would be the most, important thing for between end of this year to next year. So, and if you like our message, you can find me on Instagram at AOAUKROD, and you can find Alejo at his Instagram,
which is Liminal Cosmos.
Liminal Cosmos, and every Wednesday I will host a Astro Live on Instagram, talk about weekly transit and what's hot topic of that week. Okay, please join us on the Instagram. Okay, so next week, of course, we're going to talk about the
second house.
Second house. Very interesting second house. A lot of people like it. Okay, so until then, stay in tune. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.